I hear a record and I'm like, you know, this Charlie Poppy boy is just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how could he say Desperado?
Many.
Taking me photo. I'm like, they see the dance step. I'm like, this is the most infectious record out now. So I just look at it and I just feel like it's expression. I feel like they're expressing it in the ways that they understand it to be in the modern times. It's all love. It's all genuine love, big homie love. The rappers that inspired me when I was coming up, when I was younger, were some of the greats, from a Jay-Z to a Nas to a Notorious B.I.G., until more recently, to a Rick Ross, and then to a Dr. Dre, a Snoop Dogg. And I found out that, they had a lot of commercial success from the kind of music, the directions they chose for the record. So while Nas is termed one of the dopest lyricists of all times, top 5, top 3, dead or alive, he also had, the club bangers. He also had records like You Can Hate Me Now, Jay-Z has like scores and scores and scores of hits, and I just figured out that Nigeria being Nigeria, Nigeria is a dicey market. It's a market where it's rhythmic. Nigeria is a rhythmic market. We like dance. We like up-tempo music.
Right.
So I felt like I always needed to balance it out. I always needed to have records that were going to show that you could really, really spit, that could really, really be a dope rapper, like bar for bar.
Bar for bar.
But at the same time, you needed to eat from this as well. So you needed to make certain records that were going to open up doors and give you opportunities to perform and earn. They would record a lot of music and come to me and be like, man, listen to this, man, so you can know the music that is trending. Because Lagos is the New York of Africa.
True.
Yeah,
True
so, and I'll listen, I'll be like, there are rap groups. There are people that rap, these ones are called the Tribesmen. Oh, these ones that are called Rough, Rugged, and Raw. This one, okay, then Two-Face Dibia, Plantation Boys, they sing. I'm like, wow, I need to go to Lagos. So after uni, I got on a bus and landed in Las Gidi. So when I came back to Nigeria, the game had changed. You understand?
Yeah.
There's a lot of labels and everything, Question Mark had signed Mode9, who was an unsigned artist before we left. We all used to grind together, but now Mode9 and Asha and Silver Sadi and Kobam Zasoko were all signed to Question Mark, and then, of course, Storm Records was in the building, Kennis was in the building, and all of this was happening. And I just looked at the music industry and said, where do you start with all of this? You need to re-Christian yourself. So I became Illbliss, a.k.a. That's Igbo Boy.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of Link Up with yours truly, Teddy A. On this show, the conversations echo beyond the surface. You already know that. With me today, I have one of Nigeria's foremost indigenous rappers, hails from the East. I personally call him the Beast from the East, but you all know him as Oga Boss. His real name? I'll let him tell you his real name. But like I said, I have with me today the one, the only, Eligati, Oga Boss, Illbliss.
Hey, what's up, man?
Chairman.
My G, good to see you.
I greet you.
Good to see you.
Took a lot to get you on the show.
Yeah, a couple back and forth.
Yeah,
yes,
you're busy, man.
No, I'm busy. I'm chasing money, man.
Chasing the bag.
My kids are growing.
Yeah. How's the family, though?
Beautiful. We're doing great. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring the request.
I'm a huge fan. I saw the episodes, so I saw it from the debut episodes and right up to the last episodes.
Yes, sir.
And I felt it was absolutely honest. Yeah. So I'm into the podcasts that are honest and not just sensation and for the clicks. Yeah. Just let us, go through the journeys that we've been through. So big ups, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
big ups.
And we're happy about the growth of the Link Up this season. On this show, what we try to do is have healthy conversations. We're not trying to burn bridges, but we're just trying to create bonds at the same time.
Absolutely.
Speaking of bonds and relationships,
Yeah.
how has it been with you and a lot of rappers, new rappers? Because I see you always show love to the new cats.
Yeah.
If I put it that way, how's that been?
Yeah, it's crazy. You would say this because it's something a very good friend of mine, Odumo the Black, said to me recently. He said, Ili, you na OG, we get sense. OG, we they see bags. You never block us from anything. You always show us incredible love, and just put us on. We grew up listening to a lot of your music, and it just felt great. It felt great it feels great actually to always see the new cats coming, to see the new artists with a new kind of energy, because hip hop music is like a big tree. I look at it like a big tree. I'm the branch, MI is the trunk, Reminisce is the fruits, Fino, Olamide are probably the stems, leaves. So we are all connected. We're one tree, one big family tree, just interpreting it in various ways.
Right.
So one person could interpret it in Yoruba dialects, another person in English, another person in Pidgin. But ultimately, it comes down to the bars, the substance of what you're saying. So I am excited about what's happening, not just with hip hop, but with the entire music scene. The young ones are taking charge.
Yeah.
They're signing themselves, they're believing in themselves, they're going hard, they're doing big deals.
Yeah.
They're having a great time. This wasn't how my era was. But I feel good. I feel good because their energy, I tap into their energy and I learn the ways that they conduct their business in modern times. Because that's how I've always been. I just keep evolving.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll with the times.
You just roll with the times. That's it. That's how it's been for me. So I hear a record. I'm not trying to look at it like how would it have happened if it was from my era, or if it was. I hear a record and I'm like, this Charlie Poppy boy is just nuts. Like, how could he say Desperado? Many. Taking me photo. I'm like, they see the dance step. I'm like, this is the most infectious record out now. So I just look at it and I just feel like it's expression. I feel like they're expressing it in the ways that they understand it to be in the modern times. It's all love. It's all genuine love, big homie love.
Speaking of love and your era, you're from the era where there was a lot of rap beef.
Was there? Okay, a couple.
Rugged Man versus Mode 9.
Yeah.
And Mode 9 was a major force, a major voice.
Yeah.
But then it sort of fizzled out. Because at the time, it seemed as if the rap game wasn't bringing the sort of bag that, these younger rappers are seeing or getting right now.
Yeah.
How were you able to survive? Because you also had a movement, just like what Mo Hits had.
Oh, yeah.
You had artists that were killing it.
Yeah.
How did you survive that era?
So like I always say, I've always been a child of balance, an artist with a lot of balance. So I like to, the rappers that inspired me when I was coming up, when I was younger, were some of the greats, from a Jay-Z to a Nas to a Notorious B.I.G., until more recently, to a Rick Ross, and then to a Dr. Dre, a Snoop Dogg. And I found out that, they had a lot of commercial success from the kind of music, the directions they chose for the record. So while Nas is termed one of the dopest lyricists of all times, top 5, top 3, dead or alive, he also had, the club bangers. He also had records like You Can Hate Me Now, Jay-Z has like scores and scores and scores of hits, and I just figured out that Nigeria being Nigeria, Nigeria is a dicey market. It's a market where it's rhythmic. Nigeria is a rhythmic market. We like dance. We like up-tempo music.
Right.
So I felt like I always needed to balance it out. I always needed to have records that were going to show that you could really, really spit, that could really, really be a dope rapper, like bar for bar.
Bar for bar.
But at the same time, you needed to eat from this as well. So you needed to make certain records that were going to open up doors and give you opportunities to perform and
Right.
earn. So that is, so while I come from that era, that very intellectual era of hip hop, which is very, very the same, almost the same thing as what Mudnai came from, I just realized that at some point we needed to broaden the audience.
You needed to eat.
Yeah, you need to put food on the table. And then rap never quite had a lot of support. The era I came from, you would perform and they would just switch off the music. Like people, I can't forget it. Like a particular event was me, Mudnai, we were on stage performing, and a comedian, I can't mention his name here. We've made up, but I had real
beef.
Bad blood for him. It wasn't even beef, he's an older man, but you know how a comedian just comes out and say, yeah, the rappers are done, they're done, thank you very much. Next up is more hits, Don Jazzy and the band. That was the Tongolo era. Yeah, it was a Nigeria party somewhere in the mainland, and we were coming up, we were destroying the audience. If you see the energy from our performance, next thing they just unplug the music and say, there goes the rappers, thank you very much, the yo people. And I felt ridiculed. I felt like this was a huge moment for us performing on a big stage, and it just got killed off.
Who's the comedian?
Nah, I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Italians will call it ometta, the law of silence. I would not say that because we've made peace and we've moved on. Okay. And he's like grossly apologized and he just said, I didn't even know you guys then. I didn't know, because years later, paths crossed and he found out there were things I could do for him. I had become more powerful, thank God, over there. So he just felt like, okay, I need to be good to this guy. Right. So it was a journey. Radio wouldn't put you on because, it was just an era. It was an era that wasn't so supportive of the culture because they didn't quite understand, this boy is rapping in English. Are you going to rap better than the American rappers or the UK rappers? So that was why it was also essential at some point, to start to include dialect and pidgin English, which is what some of the greats like LD the Don, Rugged Man and so on and so forth, they came from that school of thought. Mudnai also had records in pidgin as well, but he was a lot more lyrical. It's intellectual. The music was for a chosen audience, and Nigeria that's not the mass market. Yeah. So Modo left. I think he traveled to England. He lives in England now and has a proper steady job. The dude is good. He's having a good time. He's earning properly. Doesn't release music as much as he does. Just from time to time, I guess he puts out music. But that's the story, man. Yeah. That's how it happened. That's what happens. So that commercial versus intellectual discussion.
That's a bridge a gap.
Yes, I felt like we were all ahead of our time then. It wasn't time. The audience wasn't ready. Now, intellectual artists are eating. They're having a great time. Word artists, all the auteur artists, they're all word with their sounds and their experiments and their fusions. Yeah, so it's a new day.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about you.
Yeah.
How it all started. I'm sure people must have heard that before, but I want you to really, go into detail. How it all started for you.
Yeah.
How you transitioned from the East to moving to Lagos, and then finding rap as your means to, I won't say an end, or a means to building your empire and your dynasty.
Yeah. My real name is Atobechukwu Melvin Ejiofor. You said that at the beginning of the show, that those are the names on my passport. I was born in Enugu, popularly known as Coal City, 042. 042, yeah, that's Eastern Nigeria.
Yeah.
I grew up there. I was born into a family of two brothers, so I have two older brothers, and I'm the third. Middle class Igbo family, godly family. We were well raised. I didn't grow up in the slums. So I always like to let people know when I'm not a trench kid. My parents,
Nepo.
No.
Nepo baby.
No. My parents were very intentional about having us, about the kind of outlook they needed us to have in life. So I went to the good schools. I went to a dope nursery school, a dope primary school, a dope high school, and then ended up in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, to study political science and international relations. I wanted to be a lawyer. No. Scratch that. My dad wanted me to be a lawyer. You know, because when you come from the Southeast, your parents have a fetish, a wish list for how they want you to end up. So you're going to be an architect. You're going to be a doctor. You are going to be... So they felt I could be a lawyer. I had the calmness. I had the wisdom. That was all coming from my dad. But eventually I didn't. I just went into uni and studied political science. I found hip-hop music through my older brother, Muna Chimso. He came home one day and just brought back a tape. That was the tape era. You know, he brought back a maxi tape and said, listen to this. So I put it on the tape deck, listened. And I just hearing, you know, like some old school hip hop records. At that point, it wasn't old school, but now you could call them like vintage hip hop.
Yeah, vintage,
Yeah, so I was listening, and the first artist I heard was Heavy D and the Boys. And then I heard Eric B and Rakim, thinking of a master plan. Then I heard Queen Latifah. Then I'm like, what kind of music is this? Like, why are people talking over a beat? You know, just da 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 da. And then I started to listen, and it kind of opened the valve in my brain. I could hear everything they were saying. I'm like, this is so cool. And then I started to see the music videos, and I found out that hip hop was so fashionable. You understand? It had, you know, like the dopest jackets, the dopest sneakers, you know, and then with the whole breakdance culture. And I fell totally in love with it. And I started rapping. I started rapping those songs, those American hip-hop songs. And then from there, I got into secondary school. I started doing renditions of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. So people would pay me. Guys in my class would be like, oh, could you do a song? Could you do Dre Day for me? I'll rap. Because I'll stay up listening to the music and writing down the bars. You know, and eventually I became like really, really into the culture. I started now discovering more and more hip-hop artists, and I found out it had become a big deal in America. One thing that also struck me about my earlier days in hip-hop was the social commentary from groups like Public Enemy, from groups like NWA, you know, and it was about police brutality. It was about racism. The culture. It was about Black people struggling in the projects in New York, in Atlanta, and across various states, you know, and how marginalized the Black man was. So I took all of this, and I could see marginalization going on, because living in the East, you would always hear my parents say, Igbo people are not given a chance to succeed. After the war, they took everything from us. You understand? So they set us back by so many years. This is marginalization as well. So I just kept growing with both sides of hip-hop, the American side of it and the Nigerian side of it. And I got into uni. And uni, I was a big deal in uni, man. I still have my graffiti art all over UNN walls, you know, like Illbliss. It helped me stay focused. So while some of my mates were, you know, fascinated with cultism, I was fascinated with lyricism. You understand? So
bars.
You know, so, and but I mean, it was all peer pressure. Everybody was trying to fit into something that they could express themselves with. I've never really been a gang guy. Like by gang, I've never been a crew guy. They'll tell you Illy is such a solo individual.
One-man army.
He's such a one-man army. So he just walks through walls. He walks through opposition just by himself. And in school, I also wanted to stay alive, because a lot of people, I'd seen a lot of family friends, you know, get killed. Some people got stabbed. They never finished uni. Some people dropped out of school just all because of cultism, you know. So, and my older brother also gave me the OT. He said, make sure you stick to this hip-hop thing. Continue to rap. You understand? But what's phenomenal about my older brother, Muna, is he always used to tell me, he said, you need to make money from this thing. So like all these your American raps, can't you make it a bit more local? Like rap about the girls in Slessor Hall. Slessor is a female hall in uni. But rap about the girls in Isakaita. Rap about the girls at Zig's Flat. So I took that cue and I started to, so whenever there was a show, I just come up and I'll start rhyming. You know, shout out to all the girls at Bello Hall, Adana, Chioma, Ifeka. The girls just lose their mind. I said there's a beautiful girl in Isakaita, room 213, and her name is Amaka. Man, I was the delight of the school. The girls liked me like food, you know, because I was just rapping about them and saying how fly they were, you know, and even the call boys liked me because I always used to rap about them. I'd be like, you're in such and such calls. It's like, why are we struggling? Why are we wearing different colors? We could all wear one color and just be together and just be brothers. So that's how I made it through school, you know. I made it through school. got to second, third year, my grades started to dip because I was doing a lot of shows, traveling in and out of UNN to go and perform. And then I now realized I needed to just slow down, so I stopped performing. And third year faced my grades, graduated the next year. I left with a second class upper.
Dope.
I was a smart kid. So I was just getting distracted. Yeah, so I just left school, and just now. But before I left, I had a lot of friends from Lagos. All my friends were from Lagos. So they would come back after the break or strike and come back with tapes, like radio tapes that they made from Ray Power. They would record a lot of music and come to me and be like, man, listen to this, man, so you can know the music that is trending. Because Lagos is the New York of Africa.
True.
Yeah,
True.
so, and I'll listen, I'll be like, there are rap groups. There are people that rap, these ones are called the Tribesmen. Oh, these ones that are called Rough, Rugged, and Raw. This one, okay, then Two-Face, Dibia, Plantation Boys, they sing. I'm like, wow, I need to go to Lagos. So after uni, I got on a bus and landed in Las Gidi. All my Lagos friends, secondly, were always very fly. I mean, Teddy, look at you. Just look at you. Allow me to speak about the fashion. They all had the Timbs. They all had the sneakers. They all had... I didn't know they would go to Mandela's and buy all of this stuff. We didn't have Mandela's in the East. Those boys would come back strapped with gear. Second year, one of my good friends bought a car. It was impossible. Coming from the Southeast where it was just your parents' cars that you had access to. Guy bought a car by second year. By third year, people were doing Cisco certifications, So Lagos just kind of exposes you to a lot of things that we were not privy to in the Southeast. So I now moved over to Lagos, got on a bus after school. Ife Sinachi, I can't forget. Going to Ife Sinachi Motors, the night bus. We got to Ore. I was sleeping in the bus. We got to Ore. I was sleeping and I started hearing gunshots. So they had pulled the bus over, like all those big luxurious buses. Everybody was lying on the floor. So one woman was tugging at my jeans, like, get down. Ndiori. Bend, yeah? As in, armed robbers on the road, bend. So I was still sleepy. I was trying to look out. What was going on? Just like 10 guys masked up with guns. They were having conversations with the driver. So it looked like a bunch of friends just talking.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what is this? And my mom had warned me, you don't need to use this night bus. Go by morning. I'm like, I need to meet up with NYSC camp. So I need to come, because camp had already started before I left school. So, and then the driver was giving them, they were asking the driver, what do you mean? You guys have food in this bus? So they brought out food for them. They were sitting on the road, kept their guns like on the flank. I'm talking like proper assault rifles and shit, AK-47s, and they were eating, they moved their mouths, they were gisting with the driver. You understand? I'm like, then after a while, they were like, hey, make it begin go, this one are our own people. I'm like, this is the most gangster thing I've seen. And we now got on the bus, man. Some people prayed. One woman and another guy, they prayed till we got to Lagos. Holy Ghost fire. Jesus is on this bus. Lord and personal Savior. They were praying. I'm like, wow. So I now asked the guy next to me, say he's used to it, that he's always trading. He's a trader. So he goes to Lagos and buys goods and comes back. So this thing happens. And he's always here. He's this Ore trip, Benin Ore trip. I got to Lagos, from there got to NYSC camp. I was number 7,057 at the camp.
Wow.
Yes. So 7,056 people got to that Lagos camp before me. Came in, rainy Saturday morning. Came in, registered, I started my life. In 2 days, I was rapping at the bonfire. You understand? I was freestyling again with all the people in the camp, all the unis. And because I'm a situational rapper, I always like to read the room and say, okay, Teddy's here. He's got the Flyers red shirt on. The tattoos pop. The shades are incredible. The jeans is ripped, but his soul is not ripped. Blah, blah, blah. You just be rhyming. The mics are this, the blah, 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 blah. And everybody be like, shit, he's talking about the things around here. He's talking about, and
off the fly.
Just off the fly. So that's how I started my career, and that's how I came to Lagos. And such a big city, so confusing for me when I came. It was a lot of activity going on at the same time. The bus parks, Jesus. When I got to Yanobaja, my mind almost exploded. I'm like, why? There's so many people here. How do you even find the right bus? How do you? But You know, my Lagos friends start giving me the OT, man. Move like you live here, man. Walk with a swag. We understand. Walk like chest out. Don't be mousy. Lagos will eat you. You understand? By the time I'd going pickpocketed 2-3 times, it dawned on me. I started putting my phone in my socks. You understand?
Wow.
So Lagos just gives you a strange OT. The East is calm, except maybe Onitsha and previous Aba. Yeah, but the East is ultimately very calm. It's sort of like Ibadan. You understand? Civil service city, so it's not that chaotic. Yeah, so from there, I mean, I got into Lagos. I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know where to start. I was just waiting for them to post us in camp, just post us to wherever we're going to work. And then I was this chick I was talking to in camp. In the mornings, I won't see her. In the evenings, she'll come back. I'm like, where do you even go in the mornings? So she's like, she goes to town. She goes to Lagos Island, and then she goes to VIA to write aptitude tests. I said, what's an aptitude test? He said, that's how companies employ. He said, you haven't done any tests? I'm like, no. He said, what school did you go to? I say, UNN. So all these book schools, you understand? He said, okay, you know what? Come with me tomorrow. Let's go to, there's a test, there's a bank test. There's a diamond bank test. So I went with her to law school. I got there. I saw like 10,000 people waiting to write tests. I said, where do we even start? You know, I wrote the test, skipped, passed the first test, wrote the second one, passed it, and then from there I joined banking. That's how I became a banker. It wasn't like I thought the process through. Somebody just showed me and just said, you know, you can do this and get a job in a bank and start earning properly instead of being posted to a school in Ikorodu or some crazy stuff that would just alter your trajectory. And that's how I started, and that's how I became a banker for the next 4 years of my life. Rapping, but could never show it because you know how banking was back in the day. It was very stiff and very
demanding,
very professional and very demanding. Yeah. You understand? So I spent 4 years in banking, learned so much in banking. I came in as a trainee, as a copper, even before becoming a trainee. You know, I learned oil and gas transactions in construction, how to lend to construction companies. You know, then I moved through to commercial banking, retail banking, risk management, treasury, you know, like balance sheet analysis, profit and loss accounts. Like I'm a proper finance guy in my head, you know, and yeah.
Illbliss is a smart guy. He's a smart man. Don't worry about it. If you love to be a part of this show, love to be a sponsor, a guest, or partner, send us an email at the details at the bottom of your screen. Now, you're considered one of the last true rappers.
Yeah.
Still in the game.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It's a crazy position to be in. It's nobody from my era that is still here actively. So you're right. Some people say the last of a dying breed. Some people will say they don't make them like Illy anymore. Like I've read everything, you know, and it's all thanks to the fans that know me from Aye Bogo featuring Terry G in 2008. You know, when I was just trying to build up, a young man, just trying to come up, you know, and they know me from Okwa, that Igbo boy. Because, so when I came into Lagos and I was making records, I was part of a crew called the Thoroughbreds. Yeah, the Thoroughbreds was me, Obi-Wan, the singer, Elejo, Amaka, the chief rocker, and my late big homie, B-Elect. So we're like a collective. We all went to UNN minus Ella. So we met in uni and we're kind of drawn to our own kind of music. So we're like, we're going to be a crew. Don't worry, when you come to Lag for service, we'll link up and then we'll do music like as a team, as a crew. And that's exactly what it was. So 2003, 2004, 2005 era was the Thoroughbred era. We made a lot of music, you know, together. The times there where Mood 9 and myself got tossed off stage, it was the Thoroughbreds era. But our music was very intuitive. It was very intelligent. It was bars. Sometimes it was political commentary. Sometimes it was just bars. And it wasn't the trendiest of music then. If you look back at it, it wasn't the one that would catch on the most, but everybody was, you could see that they revered us. They would look at them like, these boys, they rap like Yankee boys. Or,
Yeah.
you honest. They liked that whole, swag. But they were like, once they find out that you're Nigerian, they're like, okay, it can't be better than the Americans. So you look like a cheap copy of the original. The Pidgin rappers had a better time. Because they'll come out and they'll speak in Pidgin English, and
because it was relatable.
So that's one thing I learned from that era in music, because we were hotheads. We were trying to keep it as pure as possible, thinking that, okay, this way that this music has to be bars, it has to be intelligent. It wasn't even about Pidgin per se. It was about whatever you do, be intelligent. Don't be anti-intelligent just because you're trying to cut across.
A message, yeah. I also sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I also feel like because you guys are from, I guess, the school of rap.
Yeah.
A lot of what you and your peers did was pretty much try to piggyback off of the legends from the American rap game.
Absolutely.
It was like, okay, you mentioned Rakim.
Oh, yes.
You mentioned LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, yes.
People like that were really very, very big on speaking from a place of intelligence.
Absolutely.
Right? Common.
You have your list is so dope.
So those were the people that you guys were like, look, these guys over there are doing this in the purest way.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do it in Nigeria, we're not going to try to just...
adulterate it.
Can
I be honest, bro? I always felt we would not stay here for so long. I felt like we belonged to an American market. We didn't quite look at it like, let's conquer Nigeria, because what was there to conquer? There was really a very little presence for rap. There was just glimpses of, things happening for rap music here, but it wasn't even mainstream. It was like an underground culture. So when I met Mood 9 and I heard him, and I'm like, man,
this guy's way too hard.
This dude is just so hard. Like, this guy is incredible. But I've always been of the opinion that, you need to be culturally relevant. So while we were trying to be like the Americans, I'm like, no, let's sample Fela. You understand? Let's sample Victor Waifo. Let's get some Oliver the Coke guitars. Let's get some High Life guitars so that they will know where we're from. It was very big for me because I've always been big on Eastern culture, Igbo culture. So I always felt like, we needed to show our roots while still rapping in some English, maybe some Igbo and some, we're just trying to find our way. We didn't have any books to study. The only thing that came close was my very good friend, Raw, popularly known as Raw. Raw is godfather of Eastern hip hop. And Raw would come from Esut to come to UNN, and we'll do shows together. Then we'll sit down and do ciphers. We just sit down and just kick bars. So every time it was Raw's part, Raw would come out, sit next to MC Loaf, the late MC Loaf, and we'd just sit down and they would spit in Igbo. And it would sound so dope. Then I'll start to spit in English. They're like, this guy, every time we come to your school, you set us back. Like lyrically, we wish we could even do this thing you're doing. But this Igbo rap, just try them more, if it work. And I noticed that every time I would perform in uni, the crowd would be quiet. They'll be looking at me like a lecturer, talking. Schooling them. And then after a while, then they all get up and start clapping. But when Raw and MC Loaf would perform, they would be performing and taking lines from existing High Life songs. And because the people could relate, they would get up on their knees. They're like, man, this guy, they bust my head. So they always had that crowd effect. I always had I'm standing on a podium and I'm rhyming about. Every time I needed to rhyme in uni, do you know what you'd be hearing in the crowd? Man, shh. Ochogi bido, kaimali foge kukita. What he means in Igbo is, he's about to kick off. Listen, man. This guy. Then you now be hearing, this boy on social sciences. Like he's in social sciences. I see him at the quadrangle. Because I was always so quiet. I was never a boisterous guy. So every time you saw me in class, I was taking lectures. And then you see me on stage, I'm tearing the roof down. They're like, how is he able to do this? So that was our era. That was, growing up in that era, we were experimenting with a lot of things, but I was always big on culture. So when I finished, I left banking after 4 years, left Nigeria for a while, moved to the UK, lived there for about 2.5 years, came back. When I came back, music had changed. I met Obi Asika from Storm Records. I met him at the Notting Hill Carnival in 2006, 2007, I think. And he asked me, Sid, I've heard your records. What are you doing here? I schooled in England, so I know this town I know this space like the back of my hand. There's a lot going on in Nigeria. Labels are cropping up. I have Storm Records down. You see that guy over there? His name is Neto C. He's coming. His records are not out, but he's coming. That other guy over there is the guy we're promoting. His name is Ikechukwu. He has an album called My Name Is, and I'm like, then we signed Jimmy Jatt. Then we have Jasmine Olofin, and then we have Sasha. So Nigerian music is changing. It's no longer garbage. So come home, let's have a conversation. And by the way, we just signed LD The Don and Sauce Kid.
Wow. Powerful names.
Yeah. Shout out to Obi. Obi is living legend. Like I go to him, he's my big homie. I go to him and I'm like, Obi, I would like to try this. He said, why not? Obi always just gives you the heart to go against. You can walk through a wall after a session with Obi. Today he's a DJ in Abuja, on culture and everything. And I'm still in touch with him. But it was him that looked at me, coupled with the fact that I was dating this really incredible girl called Muna Chiso. She has the same name with my brother. Muna. Yes, yeah, Muna. So we started dating before I left, and I thought I was going to come back and marry her, So we had that in plans. She was 7. I used to go to choir for this girl, man. Like I'll get in a car, I'll go to Ojota, get in all those 504 wagons, rickety car with terrible windows, just get in and just 5-hour trip, going to Ilorin. For love. God.
Shout out to the lovers out there.
I swear. So when they always keep thinking that you're arrogant and you're puffy, I did the trips.
You did the trips. I took the journey.
I took the journey. By the time I came back, so I traveled, lived in England. England is a totally different story because I went to England with a visiting visa. And after a while it expired, I couldn't work because I didn't have paperwork to work.
So what were you doing?
Yeah, so I was grinding. I was doing under the table jobs. Yeah, I was doing under the table jobs because when I left banking because the last bank I worked for collapsed under CBN regulations, and they couldn't meet up, so they scrapped the bank, and I was stuck. I went back to the streets, and I found out that every time I went for another bank interview, they would look at my CV and be like, Jesus, this guy has a lot of experience. But they would give me 2 steps below. They were trying to get me for cheap because they knew I was coming from a distressed bank. I didn't do it. I got arrogant. Maybe it was a rapper's spirit. I just said, no, I've worked too hard.
That's the kingship.
Yeah. Looking back at it now, that's what it should be. Because I looked at it, I'm like, I went from trainee to assistant banking officer to senior banking officer to an assistant manager, and you want to drop me down to a banking officer again? So a couple of my scared friends were like, you need to keep the job. I'm like, no, I'm way too talented for this thing. And I'm saying way too talented. There was even no music industry to express the talent.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I just said to myself, you're going to have to keep going. I tried to break out of the banking box. It wasn't happening. I wasn't getting the job. So I just decided to go abroad and rest. It was supposed to be a 3-month rest. Ended up being a 2.5, almost 3-year break away from Nigeria. So while I was in England, I got a job in a coffee factory. Nestle, to be specific. Yeah, I was a cleaner. I'll send you some pictures. Crazy. I hope I can find them. So I was cleaning. I was trying to operate forklifts. I was trying to do menial work.
We've all been there.
That didn't require paperwork. Yeah. At some point it was KFC, it was Burger King on the high streets. At some point it was security work at the Arsenal Stadium in Highbury, tunnel guard security work. At some point it was just a lot. It was just, but I never stayed quiet. At the point I had like 4 jobs. My landlady would come and be like, she's a South African. She said, you are never around. She's South African. So it's like, you are never around. You just send me rent. Do you sell drugs? I said, nah, I'm just working. So that was what my life was in England. And I had the first job. First job would pay for my studio sessions because I kept recording, like I was getting ready for Nigeria. Every day I'd be like, I'm going in 2 months. I'm going in 3 months. Time was going. And then I made up my mind one day and said it was time to really just go home. And I just came back. So when I came back to Nigeria, the game had changed. You understand?
Yeah.
There's a lot of labels and everything, you know. Question Mark had signed Mode9, who was an unsigned artist before we left. We all used to grind together, but now Mode9 and Asha and Silver Sadi and Kobam Zasoko were all signed to Question Mark, you know. And then, of course, Storm Records was in the building, Kennis was in the building, and all of this was happening. And I just looked at the music industry and said, where do you start with all of this? You need to re-Christian yourself. So I became Illbliss, a.k.a. That's Igbo Boy. I changed my name, made a record called Okwa Okwa, that Igbo Boy, chilling in the club, buying drinks anyhow. That was my first single coming back. My rap friends were like, what is this? Bro, you're not really rhyming.
What happened to...
Where is the intellectual you? The common, the Talib Kweli, the Kanye-ish kind of, where are all the experimental bars? What this won't work. This is ridiculous. This is not you. I'm like, I don't have a job in Nigeria. I'm just getting back. I'm still reading Wednesday, this day newspaper, circling vacancies. And you're telling me about rapping that same way. Nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be real bills. I'm going to find a way. You know, shout out to my dog, my homie MGB. Ikenna gave me the roof when I came back from England. We're living in one tiny room at Total Corporation Road on the island.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's where I was. That's where I started to build my career from. I also came back. I was telling you about the chick, Muna Chiso. So I came back. Muna and I have been married now for, over a decade plus. That's my wife. You know, so
shout out to Muna. Hey.
Yeah, so I came back and I'm like, I told you I was going to come back. You thought I was going to scam you, Abi.
Crazy.
You know, but I mean, it's, you know, when you're opportune to meet someone incredible, and she supported me. That girl was earning 80,000 naira. She split it into two. Give me half.
Real one.
I say, hold it down. Don't worry, money's coming. Always felt that I was going to make money.
Real one.
Always. Those bars are whack, babe. Because she could write, she was rapping when she was in Unilag.
Yeah.
But because she's first daughter, you know, in Igbo land, Ada, you can't come and be rapping. I need to set the way for your siblings. So at some point, just packed that rap bus and just focused on graduating and getting into the corporate. So that was my journey from England, coming back to Nigeria, becoming that Igbo boy. Then I made Ayep Wogo with Terry G.
Yes.
And that's what sold me to the streets.
Yes.
Yeah. Ayep Wogo was as a result of going to Alaba market with my rap songs, trying to sell it to the marketers, getting snubbed by like 4 or 5 of them. And they're like, the music is too foreign. Can we really dance? We can't dance.
We relate to this thing?
We can't relate to this thing now. What is this? You know, it's too many bars. The beats are hip-hop beats. You know, like, I said, but the choruses are in, some are in Igbo. He said, first guy I met, Obaino, he wasn't even looking at me. He was eating abacha. You understand? And asked his shop boys, you know, when you go to Alaba, Teddy, have you been to Alaba before?
Never been.
It's an experience. Like, it is a life-changing experience. It's like a hub of trade. Like, here is furniture. Here is spare parts. CDs. Like, you get into a CD shop, you can see like 1 million albums on the floor. People are trampling on albums. People are tying up VCDs. That was the VCD era. They're trying to send it here and there. People are coming from Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya to buy Nigerian music and Nigerian films. I took a bus to Alaba. I can't forget. It was raining. It's Thursday morning. I was drenched in that bus because there was no window in the bus. I had my music in one hand and just holding on. When I got to the market, I got down, I walked into the market. I said, I'm looking for Obaino's shop. Somebody took me to Obaino's shop. I say, I'm the one that called you, because the marketers always have their phone numbers on the CDs. So he's like, as in put his music. They put the music. He had like 4 or 5 shop boys running around, walking. He played the first song. In 10 seconds, he said, change here. Play the next one. Change here. Third one. And I heard it. And I said, nothing. Then he turned to one of his guys, came. He said, you see this guy that he called is the guy that tests the records for him. So if this guy is moved, then we can do business. So he now asked the guy, Keonago, what's he saying? Then the guy broke it down because a young guy liked hip hop. He's like, man, boy, this guy, this guy is dope. He's like, Ogele, will he sell? The guy said, he said he's thinking.
That's what matters.
He said he's thinking. If he's thinking, he's not sure. No, not now. They were tying up all these Akanchawa gospel songs and Flavor's first album. That was what they were doing and sending it to the east. And Alan left the shop. I was dejected. Then I started looking randomly. I went to Abu Ventures. He said, no, he has given his money to Timaya. Timaya is what's up for now. That I can see the bankers. Plantain boy. I can see all the marketers from FCMB. The bankers will go to their Alaba shop with their tie and suits and sit down there with the marketer. You understand? Give him money. They were the ones funding those transactions to a large extent. So we couldn't do business. I started talking to the bankers. I'm like, I used to be a banker, you know? So which branch are you in? They were like, oh my, so what are you doing here? I'm like, no, now I'm a musician. It's like, how? And then from there, I went to the next shop, rejection. Uba Pacific, rejection. So many of them then. And I went to one guy called Ike the Don. Shout out to Ike the Don. Ike the Don distributed Asha's first album. You know, the white Asha album with the blue inscriptions. The first album, he distributed it. Distributed Midnight Crew, Duncan Mighty. So you could notice that his style, that what he was distributing had some class, had a lot of, you know, was greater music, more experimental music. So I went to Ike and, you know, his shop was neater, cleaner. You know, and it was like...
reflects in the choice of music, right?
It just reflects on the music and on the personality. The other guys were gangsters, man. They were drinking beer and discussing what song should be promoted. Then Ike said, listen, music is dope, but that's because I like hip-hop. Truthfully, you need a club banger. For a rapper in Nigeria, you need to break in. Get me those stack of CDs over there. I got the CDs. I handed it to him. He said, go through the CDs. They were mixed compilation records. Who do you find, whose picture is on all the CDs? I said, this guy. He said, do you know his name? I said, yeah. He says, that's Terry G. Go to him, make a record, and come back. Let's talk. I went back to Iju, Fagba on the mainland to see Terry. Shout out to Terry G. Shout out. Terry opened it up for me on a commercial level. That collaboration helped me because he sang the hook for Ayebogo and I did the bars, the 3 verses, you know. And I basically told him, I want to make a song about enough space. What does enough space mean in Yoruba? He said, Ayebogo. I said, okay, I'm going to do the hook. He did the hook. We did it. Shout out to Clarence Peters. CP was my partner. I was still my partner. We still do business. And CP shot the video, shot all my videos.
Yes.
Helped me establish my brand as Oga Boss.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you look at all my videos, if you run through, you just see, who's this bossy Igbo man? You understand? So CP had just come back from film school. Around the same time I was coming back from England. We met up and it was like, we're going to work together. So we partnered, started the Goretti Capital joint venture. He had 2 artists, a rapper called Kel, a female rapper called Kel, and Suspect, the producer. And I had myself. So we merged and just became one big music family, you know. So tell you my
crazy.
My journey is crazy. For my Yepogo, it blew up. You know, I started getting a lot of attention. People started, you know, checking me out, you know. But I was working. Always had a day job. When I came back from England, I started working. I got a job in some spot called Planet One. It's not there anymore. It used to be in Ikeja. Yeah, there's a filling station there now. They knocked the business down. It was like a hospitality hub, the biggest hub on the mainland then, you know. So I was working there as a project manager. And I met a lot of artists working there. I saw a lot of artists come and go. I was the one always giving them access to the facilities, giving them the bar. So I saw all the artists. I'm like, but these guys are not rich now. Like I saw a lot of cars parked in Planet One and it belonged to artists that had come to do shows and were owing money. And then they'll park the car there, collateral.
Wow. So
I'm like, this is some BS. This is not how I want to be. All this jewelry and shades.
And an
entourage. But your car's parked here for so long. I'm like, nah. So Planet One opened me up to a lot of the realities of the music business. I'm like, but you just had that big album launch, and it flopped because we were waiting for chairman to come and donate money. But the chairman didn't show up. So I'm like, no.
It's not how I want to do my thing.
No, there has to be another way around this. And these were commercial artists, Teddy. Imagine us, the rappers, that were even a niche audience. So worked in Planet One for a while. Then moved to another company called Ultima Studios. So we're producing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Project Fame.
Yes.
West Africa. And that's, I learned production. That's where I learned everything about production, live production, edit, sound, everything. That's what I got from Ultima. And that's also where I found Chidinma. Because when she won Project Fame, the competition, they handed out to me and said, okay, you go and manage her career since you won, because I was leaving the company at that point. In all of this, I was still making music. I was still grinding. I was still in the streets promoting my music, trying to come up, but also had a day job. Yeah.
People thought it was just music for you, because a lot of times artists miss the point and think, now I'm a musician, I don't need to do anything else. Not realizing that, yes, you need to remember where you are, who you are, and why you got into it.
Absolutely.
Music is a passion. Sometimes it may not pay bills. Do not get stuck on that passion, and your bills are just keep stacking.
Oh, yes.
I want to talk about a monumental time in your career. You mentioned your when you merged, when you met
Clarence Peters,
and then you had Capital and Goretti.
The Goretti company,
That was a serious era.
It was a movement
in the industry. Because you had Mohits, Capital, Goretti, Storm Records. I think at
Chocolate City.
Yeah. I think at that point in time, YBNL.
Oh, yes. Bado was building his army.
Building his thing.
Well. Yeah.
I think at that point in time, the Nigerian music industry was really big on record labels.
Oh, yes. Local labels. Yeah, no international.
Because we were doing our thing.
Yeah.
We're basically starting to fill up, the seats, and the music was starting to get played more in the clubs, using our songs in movies. Now, would you say that in rap, the rap game is losing relevance compared to Afrobeat? Would you say that? Coming from your era where...
Coming from my era.
Your label was doing everything, Storm was doing... And we had about 3-4 rappers on every label.
Oh, yeah.
Afrobeats was just, here and there.
Afrobeat was the appendage. It wasn't the main focus.
Wasn't the main focus.
Yeah.
People took the rappers more seriously in terms of, if you're a rapper, then you're intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a singer...
Let's even fast track. Let's even backtrack a little bit.
Go ahead.
So at some point, I can't remember the year, but I went to a club for an event, and I walked in, and I was hearing Rugged Man's. I had a Rugged Man record. Then I had an Ep2 record. Then I had a Neto C record. I think it was that period that Neto had Kini Big Deal. Yeah. Walai, lighter, give me lighter. The Storm domination years.
Yes.
And then Ep2 had Wine I'm Well. With just doing Wine I'm Well.
With the band.
With the band and Jazzy. And then fast track it to, there were records from Reminisce. And it was like the DJ was in a state of mind to play music. And I was looking at the crowd, and then they played Soski Dzieba Riba, Somebody Go There. You understand? And I had that record, and I looked at the crowd reaction, and it was madness.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the entire playlist, Teddy. I just know that it was back to back. Then they played Jimmy Jazz Style.
Yeah.
Which is like continuously, will forever be a classic by Nigerian standards.
Evergreen.
So, evergreen. So I listened to it, and I'm like, but all of these things are rap records.
Yeah.
And then he now switched into records from Too Short and Timaya, switched into Aye Wogo with me and Terry G, and it was still rap. And then he switched into Sasha's Adara. It was still rap. And I just said to myself, I'm like, the rappers are running this game.
Running the game,
Like we have the biggest records. Teddy, what I think happened to rap is there was no concerted effort. There was no unity. there was no, you know how you can say, okay, Odumodu is man in here, Fowls, you man here, Zlatan, you man here.
Yeah.
So I felt like we were not super intentional. We didn't link in and say, okay, you know what, guys, let's collaborate more. Let's make some more music. You understand? Okay, you and you can make a record. You and you make a record. Which is what's happening with Afrobeat. You know? So you can see a Kiss Daniel featuring Rema.
Yeah.
You can see all kinds of stuff. You can see them collaborating back and forth, Shea vibes, you know, featuring anybody and everybody.
Yeah,
and
Buju and Ruga
doing a joint album. And, you know, so rap music spent a lot of years second guess, looking at itself, looking down on itself, looking for energy, looking for battle energy, looking for rappers. Typically, we are very egotistical people. We are very
competitive.
Absolutely competitive. Everything is, I'm on my patch of soil and I don't want Teddy to stand on it because Teddy's always wearing his red shirt and blue jeans. If I don't like Teddy because wearing shades, you haven't spoken to Teddy, but you don't like him from far. But you guys are meant to be first cousins because we're all from the same family tree. We're meant to be from the same family tree. We're meant to coexist together. And also understanding, we didn't have this concerted understanding that this is our genre that nobody really sends us.
So they forgot easily.
Yeah, we forgot that, okay, so one person will make it and just drift and not care about the rest. Unlike, you know, like, which is why I fell in love with Alapmo Major Records and what ID Kabasa was doing with Bado, Too Fat, Reminisce. It was just like a bunch of boys from Bariga, Yaba. They had a crew. And they were moving and they were supporting themselves. They were collaborating. When the Chalk City spaceship landed from Jos and KD, the doors opened and MI came out. And then Jesse came
and Ice.
And Ice came after them.
Yeah.
In between, they had a Brimo.
Yes.
In between, you know, they had a lot of artists. Then they started signing younger artists. And that was also Aldo Maikori and Paul Okugo, the founders of Chalk City, understanding that they needed to build. They had a bigger vision, you know. So a lot of that era, and I'm not even counting MIO. I didn't even count Ice Prince's records. Because you get into the club, when Oleku came in, Oleku was the first time I heard them say, this is Afrobeats. I was doing an interview at BBC One Extra in England with DJ Edu, and Edu told me, this Oleku record is
Afrobeat.
It's fire. This is Afrobeats. It's the first time I heard that as a term. You understand? And then MI had the records. MI had Safe. MI had Africa Rapper #1.
And that song with Brimo. I would like to take you on a ride. You know, man. So I looked at that era. And when I look at that era and I look at the amount of records that hip-hop spun, and then I look around today and you can barely find like hip-hop records that are big records. It feels strange. It's a time. It's a strange time. It almost feels like we have glimpses of brilliance as a genre. We just shine, then we go quiet again. How does that make you feel though?
It's terrible. It's the most terrible feeling ever. And which is why all I do is preach unity. All I do is preach, like, people will tell me, but beef, they bring money now. If people beef, they get clicks. So it's almost like what we're saying about podcasts and sleaze and you just burning bridges. Yeah. I just look at it like the genre needs to coexist.
The game needs us.
The game needs us. What is this trash? Okay, where's the money in this beef? I would like to see how you guys have made money. Your fan base, FC to FC, they're going at each other. Controversy is going. But we're outnumbered by the other genres.
True.
We need to stay together.
True.
It's always been that for me, Teddy. They will tell you, Illy will never respond. Illy will never have a conversation around like animosities or anger or bile. One rapper versus. All I would always say is, can we just find some peace so that we can collaborate and be bigger? I've always looked at it because I would look at a Fat Joe will come from New York and collaborate with DJ Khaled from Miami.
Yeah.
And they'll pull in T.I. from ATL.
Yeah.
and then they'll pull in Jeezy. I think Jeezy was ATL as well. I can't remember. And then they'll pull in Akon to sing all their hooks.
True.
And then they'll pull in Ace Hood, and they'll pull in Lil Wayne from New Orleans, and they'll, you know, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, these guys represent various coasts, various cities, but they're on a record. All
different branches,
like
coming together.
Like they come together. They're like Ludacris is from ATL, I think, and he's here. He's in the mix. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, why don't we walk like this? Why are we so caught up in nonsense? Why are we caught up in trying to test who's stronger, who has the bars, who said such and such, whose bars were weak, and it's hip hop, for crying out loud. Let's support each other more. And as a communal front, we'll achieve more. Which is why MI has an event, I'm front row seats. Reminisce has an event, he knows I'm backstage, I'm there. I'm there for him. Vector is my brother. I'll sit down with him and we'll talk.
Shout out to Vec.
Yeah, shout out to VEC. We're girl dads. So we're always talking about our daughters and all their antics.
We're all girl dads.
Yes, and you too. So when you look at all these things, there's a way that I chose to age in hip-hop music, and I kept it 100. I just made sure that, you know, because I know what the problem started from. The reason why we are not as big as we should be is because we're not communally eating. Yeah, so we're not communally eating. Shout out to Odumodu Black. Odumodu understands his history. He knows exactly where he came from, what he got from what artists then, as from the rappers, and even what he's still getting from new artists. And I'm talking Afrobeat artists. He's an artist that takes energies. He takes energies from where the energy shoots.
I think
him.
Big Kala has, you know, good people in his corner.
Oh, yes.
You know, I've met him a couple of times, and you can tell he's a smart guy.
No.
He's intelligent.
No. Sit with Kala for
you know,
10 minutes and you'd see that it's built differently.
Yeah. You're right when you say that, I guess there wasn't that self-realization from the various rappers who most likely came from different spheres and backgrounds trying to make it.
Yeah.
And then they fell into this like, we're here.
Oh, yeah.
These same people who said our records couldn't do well.
So how did we get here?
How did we get here? And I think because rap is so competitive and coming from, I remember there was a point in time when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I used to hear about Vector.
Yeah.
You know, in uni.
Unilag.
Always battling.
Yes.
Rap battles were a thing.
Everywhere. Yeah.
So I think that that culture of, I'm the big dog.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the one running the game now.
Oh, yes.
You know, so like you rightly said, there really wasn't that, I guess, conscious mindset to collaborate.
No. Teddy, there wasn't. And I'll be honest with you, the same way I started out with Terry G, making Aye Bogo, I fast-tracked my career and I had records with a younger Fino. Moved on and made incredible records with Runtown. Yes. Incredible record with Ricardo and Mr. Easy. Like I've made... My career, my discography is heavy on the collaborative spirit. I mean, I have the solo records, you understand, the trap records, drill records, the hip-hop records, but all the records that I perform when I go to shows are the ones that had the features, that had the singles on it, collaborations. And, you know, I also passed through the era where Ja Rule had J-Lo on the hook. Fat Joe had R. Kelly on the hook. Yeah. You understand? Nas had Kerry Hilson or R. Kelly on the hook. Jay-Z had Justin Timberlake on the hook. Yeah. So the way I understand rap is, you know, Rugged Man featuring Nice. MI featuring Flavor. You understand? So there's something it does, because hip-hop is like rap can be monotonous for a listener that is not trained to listen to a lot of hip-hop. So you're just listening to a guy spit 16 bars before the chorus comes. You know, he spits another 16 bars, which is why rappers sing these days, because they're trying to calm down how hectic the bars can be. You understand? So it's the power of collaborations kept me in this game to this very moment. You know, so and the notion hasn't changed about how we need each other. Yes. And how, you know, I mean, Kala Odumodu knows he's doing a show, even if it's not him, even if it's Replay, his guy, or even his anti-war gangs, I didn't know the just let me know, give me notice, I'll pull up. MI knows he's doing listening for his new album, The Wolf. They know Illy will come. The reason why I come is just to let you know that every time you try to leave that your mindset of unity and being one tree, when you see me in the crowd,
I'll be here to remind you.
You will know. You will know that I'm telling you that, bro, we need each other. That's why I'm here. And I'll bring the whole world with me when your album drops. Because I know that we are a disadvantaged genre. Period. It's not... Afrobeat took over. Afrobeat came, blew, got all the Western world endorsements, and they took over.
Yeah, they shed more light.
They shed more light on Africa, and it was more convenient for them to batch all of us in as Afrobeat artists. All of us, whether you're a rapper, whether you're a singer, instrumentalist, everything, just label it as Afrobeat. It's convenient for categorization. What would you have called it? Afro rap or Niger rap? Or...
I think Afro rap sounds dope.
Yeah, it sounds dope. But I mean, I feel like, okay, so the rappers can then take Afro rap and say we're sub part. And
let's run with it.
Yeah, let's run with it.
Because it kind of is similar to what happened with South Africa. You know, their rap game, they took it to a whole nother level.
Oh, no way. Yeah. South Africa is a totally different energy.
Yeah.
We hip hop, bruh. Like these guys, it's a part of their culture.
Yes.
It's not borrowed. It's not a brand thinking, let's do an experiment. Let's see rap. You're driving through Soweto to Josie to Cape Town to... You're hearing, bro, street corners. The street corners, they know. You spent a lot of time outside Nigeria in the States steady. So you know how rap, every corner has somebody freestyling or somebody just talking, but you think the person is freestyling, but it's just how Americans talk. In South Africa, that's exactly how it is. Inner city youth wants to be the next AKA, wants to be the next Casper Nyovest, wants to be, wants to be the next Nasty C. So it's their lives. The brands are looking at them and like, this year, let's blow 10 rappers. So you see Balenciaga presents a rapper. Adidas SA presents, So the brands, even how the brands interact with hip-hop culture is absolutely different. That's also something that hasn't been in our favor.
And that's what I wanted to touch on,
Yeah, it hasn't been in our favor. Corporate love, corporate support has been very, very sparing, very little.
And I think that would also be because they didn't see the unity amongst the rappers. No. Because you mentioned all these big names. And it's so crazy because, when you rolled out those names that you said the DJ was playing.
Oh, yes.
That's crazy.
Oh, yes, it is.
Rap was way above Afrobeat.
It was.
Now, my question to you, Oga Boss, now is, would you say the rap game lost substance?
The rap game panicked. When Afrobeat was making a huge rise. I think the rap game panicked. And then also, it was also evolutionary because a lot of rappers were getting older. They were seeking meaning in their lives. They wanted to find out, okay, this thing we've been doing for years. We've shot videos, we've hustled. Looks like we're falling by the wayside. A lot of people can't do what I do. And for me, it's extra blessing. It's not even my power. It's not even that I wrote the most music, I mean, I've worked hard. I put in a lot of work. I have 12 albums. 12 solid albums. The albums have taken me to different spheres in my life. You understand? And it was consistency. A lot of rappers weren't consistent. You understand? So they'll put out records and they'll sleep off for another 2 years. Then they'll come back again. They'll try a single. And they were like, I need money to promote it. The rappers kept seeing the danger. They kept seeing the hurdles. I kept going. Bro, I remember conversations with clients. Clients would come to me and be like, Illy, do you know how I look at you? I look at you like the J. I look at you like the Ross of this business, like the Nas of this business. We need things to explode in your videos. We need you to walk into a club and have 500 people wearing like Oga Boss hoodies, and you just walk through in slow motion.
All black.
Clarence is such a dope cinematographer. So he knew exactly what my brand was. Always wanted me to look like a king. We were coming up. We didn't have the money, Teddy. We didn't have the funding. We were the label. And then we were trying to raise Fino's career. We signed Fino to a management deal, signed Chidinma, So we're trying to build artists. And then we're trying to build Oga Boss as well. And I told clients, CP, I'm going to wear a t-shirt, I'm going to wear Adire pants, Timbs, and I need a cigar. We're going to go to that rooftop, and we're going to shoot banker lots. Client says, it's not going to work. How's it going to work? The song is called Bankala. I'm like, don't worry, I have the aura to carry it. If you are, Teddy, I can take you and put you against this wall and light you up, and you do a performance with exactly what you're wearing, and we'll pull it and we'll get away with it. As long as the record is dope, as long as the performance is dope.
The product.
Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And that's it. And then when the look and feel connects, and that's what clients helped me understand. He also made me understand that sometimes we didn't need everything. So I became the rapper that had a lot of videos, but they were contained videos. Bruh, I had car shops where we'd go out to and we'd rent the Phantoms. And you see in the back of the Phantom and you'd be rapping, Chukwa gozi gogi, Chukwa gozi gogi, neza kisi pasaloni medical vatu, and you'd be rapping and you're sitting in the back seat. And everybody sees the video, they're like, that's it. That's it.
That's the branding.
That's it done. That's Oga Boss. You understand? So we worked a lot on ourselves. I worked a lot. So even at the point when I met Fino, and Fino got introduced to me by Nigaro, I said, bro, this guy called Chibuzo. His stage name is Fino. He's from the Southeast, and he's a dope producer. He's worked for Timaya. He's produced for Bracket. He's produced for so many people, and I need you to just hear him because he loves hip hop. So Fino came, we sat down in my office, we spoke, and then I introduced him to clients. And then he joined the team. We made a record called Anama Chikwano. That was 2012. And we made that record. I put Fino in the song. Clients and I sat down and we redesigned Fino's brand. Put tattoos on his body. Put the mohawk on his hair. Boom! Fino caught fire. That taught me a lesson in branding. It taught me a lesson. And these are some of the things I couldn't even do for myself. I was too scared, Teddy. I was too scared to be a radical looking. I couldn't even pierce my ear. I couldn't even wear anything that would make me look like, stand out a bit, because it was a bit of banking experience. Being a banker for 4 years, you understand. You're always in a suit and a tie. You understand? So I couldn't be radical. I can't wear a lot of jewelry. I feel like this is too much.
There's a lot going on.
I want to be understated. You understand? So there's a lot going on. So I became that guy. So my aura, my natural aura became all the jewelry, became me and became everything. So that's going through all of that and shooting all those videos and staying consistent and dropping albums. I'll drop albums and I won't have videos for the songs. I'll be pushing the songs. I'll go to Facebook, I'll push. I'll go to radio stations. Bruh, I was calling. I had like a team of boys in Capital then, like 12 of them. I just give them money. I said, yeah, start calling Beat FM. Call Tools this show. Tools, 1 p.m. Call it. When you call the midday show, hello, what's up? My name is Teddy. Please play Illbliss's such and such record. Thank you, drop. And they were live calls. Hey, what's up? After a while, I got a call from BFM. Sorry, we don't have any of your records in our studio. Maybe you should send your new album. I'm like, yes. Then BFM was a fortress. You understand? I didn't even know the owner was Mr. Chris Ubosi. Shout out to Oga Chris, living legend, been supporting me from that Igbo boy at Cool FM, but now he has the entire BFM, platform, Niger FM, everything. So like family for me, absolutely radio family. So bro, I've done it all. I've gone to push the music myself. I've performed for free in the clubs. I've done it. Give me a space. Let me just do 2 songs. You do 2 songs, you'll catch fire. Another person will book you from there. Meanwhile, they didn't pay you for the one that you were performing. You understand? So I've been through it. I've gone to clubs. I sit down buying shots for DJs. Oh, give me a bottle of Henny. My rent is probably due next week.
Crazy.
And I'm buying Henny bottles. Sometimes I buy it and sneak it into the club. I just pay the bouncer. I say, I'm bringing in drinks. Bouncer said, no problem. Our guy. I said, this one I drink the 2 costs. Meanwhile, I'll show up there, dark shades, everything, look like a drug dealer. I just sit down there, man. My guys will be like, bro, man, how do you do this thing? I'm like, because we don't have a team. Like, we don't have money. Like, we don't have godfathers that are going to come in and do all of this stuff for us. So I was the arrowhead. I was the marketing plan. for myself and for all the artists that came through.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you, bro.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Before I go to your artists, I want to speak on the rap game still.
Yeah.
Would you say that artists that are now switching to singing are doing that out of survival or weakness? What would you say is the issue?
It's a bit of both, though. But first, singing is expression, so it's artistry. So if sometimes you write a verse and it comes to you like a melody, it doesn't come as bars. You understand what I'm saying? Do you remember back in the day? Were you an R. Kelly fan?
Chris Brown.
You're more Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown.
Yeah. So, like these two artists had something very similar, something very phenomenal. Maybe because they could rap. So, R. Kelly would sing, if I order one bottle, then I order one models, and I order one. Or he'll go to, here's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out of the kitchen, mama rolling.
Even Trapped in the Closet.
Exactly.
More or less, he was rapping. Telling a story.
But he was telling a story. Yeah. So that's exactly how I feel when I hear Odumodu singing, or I hear Vector singing, I hear MI singing every now and then. I just feel like there's nothing to prove. Lyrically, these boys are written the most dynamic hip-hop songs. So I now feel like the singing is a way of expressing themselves. There's a school of thought that feels, it's got to be core hip-hop. It's got to be authentic hip-hop. It's got to be bars and bars and bars. But some people just want bars and bars and a little bit of singing. Then bars and bars and a little bit of singing, just so that they can mellow it out. So I feel like do what comes naturally to you. I never did anything for money per se. It was always expression. It was always, and if I needed a singer, I'll go get the singer. Oh, hello, Mr. Banky W. I have a record for you. Banky would come lay down the most incredible vocals for me.
Shout out to Banky W.
Shout out to Banky W. If I needed Fino to sing in Igbo, he'll come through and do it. My last album, 2024, Sidekai, I had a chance to work with some of the most incredible artists, from Fave to Tenny to Umo Bilibo, representing my Eastern family, to like so many people. And I sat down and I saw how we could, because I hadn't made music. Between 2020 and 2024, I took a break. I didn't drop music. Yeah.
Spend time with the family.
Spend time, raise my girls, you understand? So, and then when I came back 2024 and I made that album, it was so incredible getting back in and just seeing how enjoying the process of making music with younger artists. So when I sat down with Favor, I said, we're going to make a record called Peace of Mind. We're going to make a record where we just talk about chilling and just staying away from all of this light, cameras, and action, and just being by ourselves, being anonymous. And then she came in and killed the hook. Then Tenny and I made a record, a love song. And I heard it and I'm like, this is why I love this art. I should never stay away from
Never stay away from it.
You understand?
The joy.
Yeah, then I'll go to another record, Successful, with Vector. And V and I are just going back and forth, trading bars, going back and forth. I'm like, this is just so phenomenal, And that's how I've always been, T. I've always adapted with the newness. I studied the newness, and I don't exactly have to do it exactly how everybody's doing it. I just still interpret it the way that I want to interpret it, But I feel like the singers that are rapping, the rappers that are singing, is expression. If you can expand your audience and buy some of the more melodic listeners that would ideally like songs over rap, it's fine. You can get them in your space.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's how I look at it. I never begrudge nobody. Because when it comes to bars, Odumodu will go head to head with you still. Vector will go head to head with you still. So they're not weak.
I still outsing you on your record.
So they're not weak. They're just expressing for a bigger audience. Yeah, it's just diversity.
And I also feel like, to buttress your point, I feel like rappers are also better singers.
I think so.
Burna Boy used to be a rapper.
That's what God, you hit the nail on the head. You understand?
Be a rapper.
Yeah,
and so that's why when you hear him sing some songs,
bro,
the bars, the way
it's the bars,
the placement of everything he says, you're like, this guy used to be a rapper.
Back in the years, Rhythm FM Port Harcourt, shout out to LD Extra Large. LD showed me a CD called The Bond Report. He said, Illy, I would like you to listen to this guy. His name is Bonner Boy. But he's just coming up. He did his internship here at Rhythm, but yeah, he's a Port Harcourt boy. And I listened. And bro, this is pre-like to party.
Yeah.
Come follow me on my race. This is way before then. No, Bonner has been incredible from the womb. Yeah. Shout out to that dude, Burner. Man. Like
shout out to Oluwa Burner.
Oluwa Burner he's such an incredibly diverse artist. And I'm biased because he was a rapper. Wiz rapped as well.
He rapped too.
Yeah, so when you look at them and how they play with words, how they chop words up, you know that these boys have rapper advantage.
It just tells you how impactful the rap culture used to be or was at the time.
Oh, yes.
People were so in love with rap.
Oh, yes.
Because of, the US was exporting its music to the rest of the world.
Yes.
And so you're right when you say that rappers, should have united. And I don't think it's too late.
No, it's not. It's for me, bro. I do what I can. So I'm an OG. So I need to move like an OG. You need to move right. So you need to always sit down with a lot of people in the rap space and remind them how incredible they are. You need to remind them. There's a recent clip of me having some of the most incredible jollof rice. And this word is going out to Rick Hassani that came on your show.
Shout out to Rick.
I was bragging about his cook and how dope the stew was. M.I.'s cook, I can't remember his name. M.I.'s cook made this jollof rice that I think I almost levitated when I ate it. So I was eating it, M.I. was rapping. And they were shooting it, and they put it out as content. They thought it was just M's bars that I was experiencing.
It was the food.
But man, the rice was mad. You understand? So maybe someday we're going to get the cooks.
I think so.
To come on your show.
A face-off.
Like a face-off. So, like, I sit with M and we have conversations. Where are you mentally? You're not married. You're gonna have a family. Kids are gonna come. How do you fit the new M? V, you got 3 kids. You understand how you cope. You wake up some mornings and the phones are not ringing like they used to. I know your phones are still ringing. I know you're still making money. You're still streaming, but what else are we going to do? Reminisce. What else? Do we start a betting company? You're a Manchester United fan. Yeah. I'm an Arsenal fan. And I know that Teddy is the blue side of things.
Let's go.
Understand? So I'm asking, what is it that we have to do? Why don't we own a liquor brand? I'm always asking, bro. Why are we waiting for the brands? I'm not going to name their names here because they're not paying for this show, but all the liquor brands, where are they? Why are we waiting to do their tours? Why don't we own anything? Beaters, we don't have anything.
That's crazy.
Look at us. We are the audience. We own the market. We own the following. You go to the East, they tell you, Oga Boss is a king. He's a don. You understand? Fowls, you're a don in your section of Nigeria. Fino, you're a king in the East. Reminisce, you're a king in the West. Emma, you're a king in the Middle Belt, Taraba, Jos, Abuja. Ice Rings, the same thing. Odumodu, you control Abuja and parts of everywhere. But I've never seen us own one thing.
That's crazy.
So it breaks my heart.
Power of collaboration.
Oh, geez, brah. And I think, again, maybe our genre, maybe, just the way the genre is wired.
Yeah.
Teddy blew up in ATL. He found his market. He owns that part. You blow up in New York. You blow up in Virginia. So everybody you blow and you forget. I think sometimes the rappers move like, okay, I'm a rapper and I have some big records. So when I blow, I just really want to be with the Afrobeat guys. I just want to be closer to them and closer to the rappers. Because
I made it out the hood.
Because I made it out of the hood. Because I just want to be near the rappers also that made it. I'm not investing in the next guy. I'm not trying to tell you you're the next guy. Bro, I'm invested in the Southeast. I know everything that's going on. Like I can tell you the next guys after Zorro, after Fino, after Jerick the Hustler.
Jerick, shout out to Jerick,
Shout out to Jerick the Hustler, man. Jerick is a lesson in branding.
Yeah.
It's a lesson in branding and how You could be a drill artist, a trap artist. You come from the streets, from the hood. They love Jerick like the air they breathe.
Yeah.
2016, when Fino was doing Fino Fests at Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu, Jerick was jumping the walls of College of Immaculate Conception in Enugu CIC to attend the show. As a youngin, Smalley.
Damn.
Yeah. Look at it today.
So the stories we'd love to hear.
Oh, yeah. Jerick was just escaping to come and watch us perform. Jerick sees you and says, "Senior." I'm like, well, we're not in CIC anymore. And he just shouts, "Ogbe." And the city divides into two.
Yeah.
Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, 24, 25, almost 30,000 capacity. Those are Champions League numbers.
Facts.
You see the pictures and you're like, shit, is this a church convention? Or it's just Jerick the Hustler? And it's not just Jerick. It's a whole lineage coming. Aguero Banks. You understand? There's so many of them lined up. Hugo P, Evado. And they all come in and they're like, Baba, it's you that we were watching. We watched you. We watched Fino, and we saw these changes and we knew that rap could work. So this is me inspiring the Southeast. This is not even like Lagos.
Speaking of the guys over here.
Yeah, just this is home soil.
Yeah.
And they're looking at you, man, and they're coming. The noise, they're coming, they believe. Now they even believe more, Teddy. They're like, bro, we don't want to go to Lagos. We want to stay at home. See now, bro, look at the streets now. Boss, look at our streets now. Look at the crowd. This is 12,000. Aguero did 15,000. Rory Kelly did 20,000. This person did these numbers. They're all shouting our lyrics back at us. We just need to find a way to migrate this number to AudioMac. True. Migrate it to Spotify.
True.
And that's what they've been doing. Building what I call the Eastern Cartel. Just building it and being steadfast about
I love
that.
The
East is the capital of hip-hop as I speak to you. Because you see that whole... So it started with a Raw. Raw came. Raw when it came. And I came the era next to Raw, slightly after Raw. And then came Fino. And then came Zoro. And then there was Jerick. And then he kicked down the door of incredible Eastern artists. I'm like, why are you guys not singing now? You're not seeing flavor. Don't you know that Ijele, it should be, they say, Mama, this place is not trap zone.
Not trap zone.
This is not trap zone. So we're talking about our hustle. We're talking, and we can't always express it in singing. I say that's not true. You've not been dynamic with the singing. But just find a way you can do it. You understand? But just can be a hustler, you can be fly and hip, but you can still, Shay Vibes is doing it. Rema is doing it. All the new Afrobeat guys are doing it. So do the same thing as well. Be hungry. Be dynamic. Find out about social media. Learn how to take over. Learn how to trend. Learn how to do everything. And they're incorporating it and they're doing a damn great job.
True.
With what they're doing. So, our journey is crazy, man.
Crazy.
It's crazy, but it's never late. Like you asked, it's never late for the rappers currently that are still here in form. I just need us to work as, more in unison with what we're doing. I care about what Reminisce is doing. Yes, I know we made King of Boys together as a movie, but I care about what Rems is doing and when it's dropping. And I'm going to carry it on my back and promote it.
Yeah.
I care about what Bado is doing. Bado blessed me with 2 records in the course of my career. I care about what Fino is doing. I don't have to see them. We probably never hang out in years, but I just know what they're doing, and I know that when it's time, it's time. You understand? Because this thing of ours...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned Fino. I want to talk about the 2 artists you signed to your label.
Yeah.
Fino and Chidima. Do you feel like, in terms of loyalty, they've given you the amount of loyalty that you think you deserve? You think so?
Loyalty.
Yes.
The truth about it, Ted, is Fino is my brother. We came from the Southeast. We came from Enugu, specifically, same city. I just grew up in another hood. He grew up in another hood. Fino will always be my family. He will always be blood because he cares about what happens to me.
I like that.
Yeah, he gives a damn. Like, this is post-Capital Goretti era. Like, he gives a damn. He might not be the guy to call you the most. I'm also not the guy to call the most, but he knows. He knows. Once you call him now, Odogu Alpha, You understand? The weekend can you understand? Although I think you should do more content. I think you should do more. The game has changed so much. I think you should continue to grow and do all of these newer things that you're doing. Still make the music, but do it on your terms. You know, that's a conversation I would have with Ifino, you know, because he was smack in the middle of the most active years of my career. Produced records for me, helped me come up with some choruses, you understand? And when it was time for his No Gods, No Glory album, it dropped on the Goretti platform now. We went back in, pushed it, and made sure that, you know, to a large extent, coupled with a lot of people. I never take all the credit for Fino, but I know that in terms of the embryonic stages, the developmental stages of his career, I was there. And he knows, and he respects that. For Chidinma, we had a contract with Capital Goretti. And you know, those years at Capital were beautiful. Do you remember the Emini Bola era?
Yes.
So those eras, the Miss KDK era, Emini Bola era, those were some of the most beautiful moments of looking at a girl that just won a reality TV show, music reality TV show, and we just came straight from Foursquare Pentecostal Choir, you know. So how is this one going to survive? Cute.
I get where you're going with that.
Cute, petite, young lady. How are we going to start? She's not vulgar. She never made raunchy music, so she's never going to come in as a thug. You understand? I know the amount of flag that people try to pass at me and clients when they saw her in a mini bola and they saw her singing, Miss KDK, Lori Speaker, yeah, and she's holding, and it was all expression. And I told her, we're going to split you into two. You're going to have the lovey-dovey side, the high life, KDK, Miss K, you didn't make my heart go, KDK. So all of that won her a big audience. But I told her, I said, you know, you see at this Capital Goretti, we're hip-hop influenced. So you're going to sing, I'm going to put you on this Afrobeats, of Afrobeat kind of productions, and you're going to sing, and you're going to kill it. You understand? And she'll do it, and she'll come out of the studio and be like, sir, I don't know, she's calling me sir. Then I'm like, no, my name is Illy. It took her a long time to start calling me Illy. You understand? So there were great moments. I'm not as in touch. I'm not in touch with Chidinma like the way I am with Fino, but it's all love because we didn't live in crisis.
So she just left?
No. It got to what it is for me, I always let artists go before the time.
Really?
I don't do that rubbish that keep them and then start struggling over renewals. Or nah. I told clients, I said, bruh, we'll go in, we'll do the work, we'll make some money. The artists also make some money. We shake hands and move to the next one. I don't want this recoup. So it's when labels are trying to recoup, that's when they start getting greedy, or that's when they start falling out because the artist is not making more money. And that is like, I'm giving you guys a bit too much. I think I need to keep more for myself. I think I need my brother to manage me. I think I can sign myself. I think I don't need the label anymore. The same label that held it down for you when you were zero. So times change, you put money on the table and you see what artists really are about. You understand? And then to the artists, always understand what you sign. You need to really look at the lines. I would call Chidinma then and say, come, have you seen a contract before? She'd be like, no. I said, listen, do you know what this line means? This line means that you're going to have equity in your music. And equity means if I bring 60% of the videos, you bring 40%. I said, but I thought the labels were supposed to do everything. I'm like, no, our deals will teach you how to run your business when it's time. We can do 100% of it, but we'll keep you here forever. So I was my hands were always up 100% clean. And always, it was never about confuse the artist or run up a bill so that they will be tied to you forever. I want you to leave after a while on very beautiful notes, peaceful notes, then go and start your own company. If you need my blessings, I'm here. Because clients and myself, it was about a moving train. It wasn't about, keeping you stuck for good. And the things they learned at Capital Goretti, they're still using it till today. So it's all good for me. I never wait for flowers as well. Like I'll be friggin', if I say wait for flowers, bro, I have orchard, like I have gardens of flowers. Like every day people are celebrating you, telling you incredible things. So I just look at them and I want them to keep winning.
That's good.
I pray that whatever they do, they win. It's not we don't have to. It's not a love affair. We don't need to.
It's not going to be do or die.
No, it's not.
Awesome. Once again, guys, you're on I mean, you already know what show you're on. But yeah, this is the Link Up
Yes.
with your host, Teddy A. Once again, if you love to be a part of the show, if you love to be a sponsor, a guest, or a partner, send us an email at the details at the bottom of your screens or your cell phones. All right? Now, I'm with Illy, a.k.a. Oga Boss.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you a few more questions before I let you go. I know you're a very busy man.
Yeah.
And I've taken up a lot of your time.
It's beautiful conversation, Teddy.
Thank you very much.
It takes a lot for me to sit down this way, but it's beautiful so far.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What's the most financial hit you've ever taken in the industry?
A financial hit?
Either as a record label boss or as an artist running his own career.
Teddy, I've been blessed, Shao. I can't lie. Like, I haven't taken a lot of hits. Like, when I listen to some people and the things they've said, the wrong investments they made, because I was always careful about the artist I signed. I need to really, really believe, and then I have to be part of building your brand.
Right.
Like for Chidinma, her brand was, she had attributes that we could work with. She was petite, pretty, you understand, pure, innocent. So that gave us an ability to build her like a doll, like an African doll. So clients and I would sit down and be like, "Sure, we are like a branding agency now. We're not just like a music team." So we build her. With Fino, we saw the fire, we saw the Igbo flows, we saw, and we're like, okay, let's build him in another light. So with the artists, it was a great time. We had a great time. So we had a couple fringe artists that we're also trying to develop that didn't quite trigger off. But we also didn't, I made sure, because I'm a banker now. So I wouldn't allow the balance sheet scatter.
I love it. I love it.
I will not let it scatter. I'll just
numbers
say,
guy.
No. I'll look at it and say, CB, no. You see that song? I want to see the traction first before we're shooting the video. Then the artist will be there calling me, "Boss, I just want you to know I'm in such and such club today. Tomorrow I'm going to Elegushi with my guys and we're pushing in 23 bars." I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
That was when Elegushi was
still popping.
Was popping and was defining what was hot on the streets. He said, "Boss, we only did 11 clubs today because you go to Elegushi and you run into me pushing my own music in one of the bars." And I'm like, yeah, I like this. I like the fact that we make a plan and we go in. You understand? Right. So on that same Elegushi strip, you see Shantizo stepping out of one place. And Sole was the jam then. It'll be buzzing. You see Reminisce coming out of somewhere. You see Badu coming out. Everybody was on the streets. Everybody was pushing. You end up in a club to see the club DJs. You see the same bunch of people. Mainland or island, it didn't matter. Everybody was on the island and they were trying to push their music. So you see, working with me is OT. It's OT driven. Like, I need you to know, it's not the music, man. Any idiot can put together a decent record. You understand? What it takes is heart. What it takes is heart. What it takes is, bro, I'm still in your club. We haven't played the record. One day, I don't know, can't remember the artist that asked me that I went to. Was like, "Man, bro, you are so dogged, so patient." I'm like, yeah, it's our music. We die here.
He must play.
He said I would have gone. He said I would have gone, and the DJ would have lied to me. I'm like, he didn't play it. I called the DJ. I said, "Bro, I still there. I never heard the record, and I paid you." And the DJ was like, "I've played it twice now, boss. Okay, I did spin him now. He still wants to play it again." You understand? Then all of the nightlife helped me start to understand this is the tempo. So all this trap rap that I do. Man, I'm more, man, I'm mad. Oh, man, we do, man. So they're going to play it around 2 a.m. When they start playing, I think I'm Big Mitch.
Yeah.
Larry Hoover.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when the DJ kicks into track.
That's the cue.
That's the cue. So if you're making that kind of record, realize they can play you 4 times a night. Okay, you need the lumbar. Okay. You start to study Kiss Daniel drums. You start to study Ricardo Band's drums. So who's going to be on the hook? I'm going to get Ricardo on the drums. And I'll get Mr. Easy to sing the second hook. So, see, bro, I was learning as I was moving. There were no books. There was nobody to learn how to be Oga Boss.
There's no manual.
There's no manual. I just said, man, we're going to fix this thing. We're going to find a way. So I got my hands into every part of the promotional movement. I had to get, so that till today, I have DJs that would rather die than take one dime from Illy. They will say, "God forbid you Oga boss, that year, when my laptop spoiled for language, now you, we give me money to go change the IC. I've totally forgotten. You go to my incredible friends, Legendary Beats, that work with Wizzy. Mute will tell you, Oga boss got me, when my Dell laptop packed up now, Oga boss bought the first laptop that we owned before Wizzy, the week Wizzy was signing us.
Crazy.
I say, I can't remember. And I really can't remember because my own is move, bless, throw the blessings around and pray to God that these guys will remember to also carry. And even if they don't, steady, it's fine. We'll find a way. I've always found a way. Bro. I keep muffing. My flow never dated. I never looked wrinkled, old, and out of shape. Thanks be to God.
Forever young.
Yeah, because forever young. Because I eat junk. My wife's always trying to regulate that, but she's like, baby, you need to be healthy, you need to work out more. You need to wait till she sees this interview. Not going to be seen. You see, Teddy's so fit. Do you dream about such things? And like chubby guys still have a say in life.
Of course.
And she's like, okay, just be healthy. That's all. And then she'll free you. You understand? So, I mean, all of this culminates into the experience of the man that I became. And I saw a lot of artists blow this summer, and by the next summer, they were gone.
Yeah.
So Terry, I'm so scared of being a has-been.
Yeah.
When people are like, OG that year, God forbid. God forbid. No, I'll worry you, Sha. If I'm not doing a documentary or two,
something must happen.
I'm dropping the music, I'm doing a podcast. No, Teddy, something has to happen.
Something has to happen.
Because me, I'm not even in that tape. I'm not in that space where you slow down and you now start going to Teddy's podcast to ask for flowers. You understand? And everybody's like, when I wrote that song, I introduced Teddy to Bam Bam. I was there when they fell in love, but nobody ever talks about me. You understand what I'm saying?
Give me my flowers.
Yes, I want my flowers now. So, and God, like, that is so not the OG that I want to be. I want to be the OG that is spot on, that is still
there,
relevant in the new spaces, and then also respecting for the incredible music is made.
Awesome. I mean, we do respect you. We give you your flowers.
Thank you.
If we didn't give you your flowers or respected you, you won't be on this show.
No, I won't be here.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying.
We only speak to the people that matter on the show. So now I want to talk about two things before I let you go, boss. Rap from your era used to be about, speaking on the political ills, the political structure. It was very intellectual, like you said. Rap these days has shifted onto, I would not say things that don't have substance, but what advice would you give the rappers that are, being played in the speakers, on radio, in the clubs, topping the charts? What advice would you give them in terms of what you guys did from your era?
Teddy, I'll be very honest with you. This is such a very crucial and relevant question that you asked. But I always tell people there can never be two guys like Oga Boss. It's not possible. Teddy, if you know the amount of hip-hop that I grew up on, like, it was so bad that before I even could afford to start traveling to the United States, I knew all the regions, all the coasts through rap music. Like, I'll tell you Bone Thugs and Harmony, they're from Cleveland. And I'll tell you that Dre and Snoop are from California. Inglewood specifically, Compton and Long Beach specifically. I'll tell you Nas was from Queens. Jay was from Brooklyn. The Wu-Tang Clan was from Staten Island. And it was all just listening to the music and just hearing where they rep. And just, you hear T.I. and you be like, oh, T.I. is ATL.
From Atlanta,
that's from Atlanta. Like, Migos, they're from ATL. So I also studied why they are the legends. I studied when Jay would make records like Minority Report. And it was about forgetting the black people sinking when there was some flood going on, some earthquake situation in America then. That was Jay being political. That was him when Jay made records like My President is Black with Young Jeezy, that was the Obama era. When Obama was coming in. Yeah. When Nas was making some of the most iconic records about Black history, about who the Black man is in America and what the Black man stands for, police brutality, and how Black people were still living off tickets, meal tickets and welfare.
Food stamps.
So, Teddy, this is minus their own version of Lamba, like the commercial records. The bulk of their album was about substance.
Yeah.
And that's how I grew. So when I was making my albums, I'm like, okay, Biggie has a record called More Money, More Problems.
Yeah.
But Biggie also has records called Everyday Struggle. So this is how I'm going to be. I'm not going to be like a one-directional pony. When I listen to music, hip-hop music today, I find a huge percent of it disgusting. Disgusting in the sense that when rappers are talking about being G-boys and talking about Yahoo boys, and I know that template came from drill music. Drill originated from parts of America. I think, again, Atlanta. Atlanta has a lot of hand in drill, and Chicago as well. And then England.
Yeah,
England has a huge drill following. So when I look at it, I know the drill rappers that are talking about the new prime minister does not support the minorities. I know drill rappers that talk about how women should be respected, how women should be placed in society other than being looked at as tramps and prostitutes. But they're drill rappers.
Yeah.
I'm talking Stormzy, I'm talking Dave, I'm talking Chipmunk, I'm talking like there's such a huge number of them.
Gigs.
Godfather gigs. Yeah. You understand? When you look at all these guys, Wretch 32, like I am a student of hip hop culture. And I know the things that fuel conversations in hip hop. I know where the rappers stand. But when I sit down with Nigerian rappers, I find substance in really just a few. I can't have real conversations. I listen to a whole album and I'm like, all I hear is, we're chasing the bags, chilling, 2 a.m. in Orchid Road. You understand? Just chilling, smoking, bags, more bags, chicks, strip clubs, tossing money in the air, wearing fly-ish, then we're back. My dealer is not picking his phone. You understand? So see, I hear all of these things. So it's lifestyle. This is new. This
lifestyle.
Is new. It's lifestyle. It's new age. But do you know that you can't smoke more Igbo than Snoop Dogg? Dr. Dre named his album The Chronic. The Chronic means weed. It's a strain, my G. So when you look, you can't be madder than that. So when I look at it and I'm like, all I hear in your music, and I feel like the newer generation of hip hop stopped. Not too much could inspire them. So they are being what inspires them. So when you look at the drill rappers, they're wearing balaclavas.
Right.
They cover their faces.
Gang.
Yes, gang. But Tupac, you couldn't be more gang than
him.
You couldn't be more gang than Snoop Dogg. You couldn't be more gang than all of these dudes, than The Game. But Tupac also had records like Dear Mama. Tupac had records like Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. Tupac had records like All Eyes on Me.
Facts.
He had records like Brenda's Got a Baby. He's got records like Keep Your Head Up. Same guy that you're gang. You can't gang more than that, dude.
Rap is poetry.
Rap is poetry in motion, my G. Thank you very much. So rap is societal. I have this new record that's coming. It's called Lagos City Mad.
Okay.
LCM. It's a project that I'm doing with a producer, one of my old, Suspect and I have been together since the days of Capital. So Suspect and I are doing a hip-hop project. So it's a record called...
Bring it back. We can't wait.
It's coming, bro. So the record is called Lagos City Mad, Lagos City Mad. Everybody living in Lagos is very mad. We know why, no? As in, when you hear this, I'll send it to you, Teddy. It's so
Suspect
crazy.
Is a mad man.
No, Suspect is off. I'm like, so you still have beats. So you have, it's like, man, Illy,
We just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling. So let's go back. Let's go back and let's just wake some. So the record's about Lagos. It's about So it's like the new version of Style. But this one is crazy, eh? It's crazy with all the antics, all the last man people and all they're trying to stop people, pull people over, arrest people unjustly. They're trying to stop every boy with dreadlocks and say, hey, G-boy. They're trying to, but it was just about the energy in Lagos. Everybody, how you could have a pastor standing next to a gigolo, standing next to a prostitute, standing next to a school teacher, standing next to a student, standing next to a banker.
Crazy.
That's Lagos, is a cross-pollination of demographics. So, and I just came out to the Express after Chevron and just parked my car and sat down there for 2 hours, just looking. I put a camera up and started recording the streets. Teddy.
Wow.
That's how I wrote the record. Just recording. Just put one camera here, a Sony camera here, and I think a Canon here. Put the two of them and just pressed play and just started recording. When I finished recording, I took the footage, went home and played the footage back. Man, Teddy, Lagos is madness. Yeah. Is it the buses or those Korobe, small buses? Is it them or people that are darting across the express when there's a bridge over that they can take? Or is it the cops just rolling around like a rogue organization, like rogue squad looking for people to cut away? Is it the buses? Is it the fights at the bus stops to get into the bus? Is it the people frying akara with flies inside the fire? Is it people that are eating while waiting and they have their food and they're still area boys tugging and collecting money from bikes?
Crazy.
Teddy, by the time I wrote this record, I had the bars to write that record 10 times because there's so much going on. So much going on. So I don't know what the kids, I don't know what inspires you. I don't know what it is, but so gang, drill, you want to just be about that life. But I don't hear enough substance. I'm being very honest. So I still listen to Emma if I want substance. I still listen to Reminisce. I listen to Dumodu. I listen to Vector. I listen to Faust the Bad Guy because then Faust can make a political record and make a love record, can make a Johnson record and make a record about growing up and family and friendship. So it's wholesome. The music, the hip-hop music coming out these days, it's not wholesome. It's just hustle. We're getting money, we're good, 2 a.m. on Orchid Road. Sorry, Orchid Road didn't do anything wrong. I love Orchid Road.
Shout out to my people on Orchid.
Yes, shout out to Orchid. And shout out to all the hoods, all the ends, all the places where, boys keep their head in Lagos. But I'm just saying that there's a lot more to it. It's storytelling. Tell me a story about you guys being in a car and you're coming back home from the club 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and they pull you over in Admiralty and cops are searching you frantically like you have drugs, like you're this. Just tell me the story.
How did you get out of it?
How did you get out of it? Tell me a story about a chick that keeps breaking your heart and she's lying to you and you know she's lying, but you guys are both dysfunctional.
Crazy.
And you're staying in it, but you don't really know what you're staying in it for. Talk to me about your moms. You call your moms and have prayers on the phone. Sample your mom's voice. You understand? Let her
cheat code.
Yeah, cheat code. Sample your mom's voice. Let her tell your dad. Tell him the way he prays for you and tells you don't forget where you came from. Teddy, remember that God brought us here. And God blessed this family. There are things we don't do as a family. I want to hear things about you. The same way you set up this podcast so we could come here and be the realest versions of ourselves. Is the same way I want to hear the music. Sadly, I don't hear it. All I just hear is lifestyle, alcohol, weed, nudity.
And that's not what it's about.
And it's trash. That's not what hip-hop is about. So if that's what you're about, a lot of your music is trash to me. I don't listen. So you could be a new age artist. There's a lot of new age artists that are killing it. So it's not a question of, this is how hip-hop now sounds. No, it's not true. You're just not doing the work. You're just being a copycat. About
Crazy.
So substance.
So, I mean, I'm sure our viewers or, our viewers who love to go into the rap game or who are, on the rise and want to go deep into the rap game, I'm sure they hear everything you're saying because I think it's really about substance over, just churning out records for the sake of it. And I would say maybe because they want to put food on the table. They feel like, okay, this is what generation right now want to listen to. And forget that they need to diversify and show range in their craft. I love that. Let me ask you one question I asked.
And before you go to this next question,
go ahead, boss.
Do you listen to an artist called Lona?
I was going to touch on Lona as well.
Lona is such an incredible artist.
Very conscious.
Independent, conscious, very, very deliberate about how he creates his music, the mood that his brand conveys. I went out to support him at his concert, at his Homeless
I saw the flyer.
Concert. It was crazy.
Yeah. Such a following.
It was so crazy. I was looking at the crowd, and then M was there that night. M performed his classics. I mean, MI. Ice Prince was there as well. Fino was supposed to be on the bill. He couldn't fly back into town. But when we came out and we supported Lona, and Lona was a singer, or is a singer.
He's a singer.
And all of us were rappers. I just looked at it and I said to myself, and I told my brothers, I said, you see this shit we did tonight? This could be us. This could be us.
Yes.
Yeah, like you see this concert with all of this Lona and his like people having Lona t-shirt. Lona is like, Baba, I don't even know these t-shirts. The fans did it themselves.
Crazy.
They're printing it themselves. They're following me through 20-something states. I went on a nationwide tour. Today we're in Ilori. Tomorrow we're in Katsina. How we got there? Boss, Nigeria has airports that you don't even know about. That flights go once a week or twice a week.
Dang.
And that the planes that go there are the ruggedest airlines.
Jeez.
And that's a singer, but he hit the road. Teddy, we are full of excuses, Sha. I mean, I know that Nigeria has ups and downs with touring facilities, but we're waiting for everything to be in place. And then a kid like Lona will come through and show us how it could be done without an infrastructure. We're there waiting for Rock Nation and all this Wana and Universal and Sony to come and put our country together for us so that artists can keep touring. That's not their primary responsibility now.
Crazy.
You understand?
I've asked this question a few times, with a few of my guests that have come on the show.
Yeah.
Would you say the influx of, foreign labels into our industry right now has, would I say, given it the structure we've been looking for?
It's helped give it some structure and also helped funding. So a lot of artists can move faster, can move more consistently with the bags. When you have the promotional bags, and most times it comes in dollars, you understand, you're able to fund your promo, you're able to run, have 2 album deals, 3 album deals, 3 EP deals, you're able to run, you're able to promote. Music is expensive.
Yeah, but what's the downside to them coming in though?
The downside is a couple of artists also get a bit exuberant when they see these numbers and they sign away their masters.
They're lazy.
They sign everything away. So down the line, you just have that a couple Benzes, maybe a house, and that's it. You don't own your masters. You can't exploit your masters in the future without going through the new owners, which are the labels. So it's about cutting fair deals for yourself and understanding that you're going to age and you're not always going to be hot. And when you age, you need to eat. You need to take care of shit. That's how I look at it. They've also helped with how the music is penetrated. Yeah. Because they are big labels and they have affiliates.
The wider reach.
The much, much wider reach. So they'll tell you, oh, CK is buzzing in Sweden. Or Love Quantity blew up in Netherlands. Yeah. We're plugging it there. Or Caveman they're doing a Scottish tour. Yeah. You understand? It's the plugs. It's sometimes I feel it's structure and a lot of independent people that are also working between the artist and the label, because sometimes it's just an artist with a dope team that dares to just reach out and find these plugs for the artist. So, shout out to the managers that are doing incredible stuff. Shout out to the plugs that are finding playlists, that are finding a way to sing this music in with other cultures, that are finding ways. Shout out to creators on social media that are doing incredible dance videos. Yeah. You understand?
It's a massive movement.
The other day I was looking at Laho. I was looking at it on Instagram. I just type it in, Laho videos. Bruh, thousands of videos. I'm watching, I'm laughing my head off. Some of them are Chinese people, Indians, Africans, Australian people, and I just look at it and I'm like, this is it. We went global finally. Yeah. Afrobeat eventually went global. But I just need us to keep our eye on who owns what, because they come in with that whole just throw bags at them and take it away from them 100%. Dear artists, dear young artists, as you make it down Orchid Road, in that fly Benz drop top with a fly cutie next to you, just remember that you will not be here forever. Just remember Like when you're signing those dotted lines, with whomever signs or whomever partners with you to exploit your music, always keep a healthy portion of your music and your publishing for yourself. Please also do not cheat your producers. Give everybody what they are due, because everybody wants to ride down Orchid Road in their Benz.
Facts. Yeah. And on that note, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode of Link Up with yours truly, Teddy A.
Yeah.
With me, I had on the show a wonderful conversation with Oga Boss Illy.
Thank you.
AKA, your money is mine.
Yes, your money is mine.
Your money is mine. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Teddy.
Thank you.
Incredible times with you. Maybe because you understand us as musicians as well. Maybe you know, I keep saying you're the cheat code for the game. Like you've touched on so many parts of artistry.
Yes.
So you have your music side that is deep.
Yes.
You have your film side that is deep.
Yes.
And then you're doing this show now, and the lineup for the show is something that gives me a lot of joy. Because you're not just talking to who's hot. You're talking to people that are hot, that are relevant, and have a story to tell.
Yes.
So I never want that to change. And to the corporates, I want you to put money on this show. My name is Oga Boss, and I want you to look at your marketing budget again. No, you still have time. It's just September. You still have one more quarter before the year runs out. Please bring in the bags and fund Link Up, hosted by Teddy.
Let's go.
Bless.
Let's go.
Oga Boss.
One more time, guys. Thank you all for being a part of this show. If you would love to follow Illbliss on social media, I mean, come on, it's easy to find now.
Illbliss Goretti.
Now, big name.
Illbliss
Big
Goretti.
name. So you can never go wrong with following him on social media.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow us as well on Instagram at ECHOOROOM_. That's on Instagram. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube for more videos just like this. I remain your host, Teddy A. Music is life, rap is poetry, and Afrobeats forever.
Yes,
Peace.
Peace. Show me any rapper out with this much audacity. My advice to the young, show more tenacity. Run the city, we seen every single atrocity. Keep the F quiet, listen more, and show ability. What's up? My name's Illbliss, a.k.a. Oga Boss, and this is a public service announcement. You're watching Link Up, hosted by my homie, Teddy A, on Echooroom. Don't you ever change that dial. Bless.